All right, g'day, hi and welcome. All right, somebody left a load of bricks in the back of my truck. Some lazy bugger just left a whole bunch of bricks, paper bricks in the back of my truck. I think that lazy bugger was me. I always do that. Thunder. Is I pick up like scrap metal. I pick up, in this case, I got the bricks or whatever. 18 degrees. She's going to be a warm one today. And whatever it is, I'm like, okay, as soon as I get home, gotta unload it. Okay, that's what I said to myself last night, several times too. And do you think I listened to myself? I got my gas. I'm on the road. On the road. I need eyeballs in the back of my head too. I mean, spiders are kind of lucky. They got like 8 eyeballs, but they should have like spaced them out. You know what I mean? Like put some in the back of the heads, maybe one on their butt or something. You know, just like a rear view camera, backup camera kind of thing. Yeah, you know. A nice truck. Oh wow! Hey, put a little beaver on the side. Coming down the road. Probably Merlin in the backhoe. Alrighty, yeah, so we're Wednesday. And yeah. Gotta cut that soon. Gotta get paid for that season soon too. That's a problem sometimes when you work for yourself, is like you get paid like once a month. And it's like you have to survive the month, right? With just a little bit of pay you do get. And you're like, and then you get this big whack of money all at the end of the month, and it's like, it's good and bad. It's good in the sense that you get a big whack of money and it gets you ahead and you can plan things. Oh, you get another truck? Oh no, I still got the big bad Dodge there too. He's got 2 trucks. Oh, that one's got bangs and dangers in it. Anyway, yeah, so you got this big whack of money, right? And then you can kind of like plan out your next month, but you have to make that money last, even though you have other money coming in for the following month, But the thing is it's kind of like you really have to live within your means, right? And a lot of people can't do that. They get a big whack of money. Oh, I'm gonna go buy this. I'm gonna go buy that. And I'm like, I'm kind of, like people call me cheap or whatever. Okay, whatever, Well, like for example, my work boots are a couple of years old now, and I'm one of those guys that could, like everybody else I know, they've got new work boots like 3 or 4 times a year. There's that piece of scrap metal. I got to stop and get that. And anyway, it's 3 or 4 times a year. Maybe not 3 or 4 times a year. Nice truck. They're buying, they're basically buying new work boots as soon as there's like, oh, these are slightly uncomfortable. Oh, these are slightly. I mean, I like, they have to fall off my feet before I buy new ones, pretty much. Like literally, that's what it takes. Because they're expensive. Like used to get work boots for $40, which I don't recommend those. And I don't think they make those anymore. They were they give you back problems. They were so bad. There was like no padding in them or nothing. But when I was young and whatever, like I was only making $4 an hour. You know what I mean? Like, but then I'd do stuff like concrete and cement and all that. One day of that or a week of that, and say goodbye to your boots, right? But I don't mainly do any pouring or anything like that. And if I do, I hose off my boots right away because the lime will eat the threads in the boots. Yeah, so like I don't buy stuff even if I need it. Like I don't buy it until I have no choice but to buy it. If I have the extra money and I can, take a little bit of my extra money and buy something like the Whippersnipper, for example. But that thing's been a great investment. Little square body. And whatever. The man. Anyway, yeah, like I don't buy stuff unless I need it, or if I know it's going to pay dividends, right? And like the trailer, for example. Yeah, okay, the trailer was an unsuspected expense, right? But it's something that it was a good deal, you know, like $1,800 is not a bad deal, and then whatever it's going to cost me to put it on the road, probably, you know, anywhere, probably around $100 or something like that. That thing's going to earn its keep really quick, but I just don't have the money for not only to, like, I haven't put a cent on it yet, you know what I mean? But I bought it off a buddy that he knows my financial situation, and he knows I'd never screw him over, right? So when I get a big lump sum of cash, like, I can go and pull money out on my credit card and pay off this trailer right away, but I'm trying to pay down my credit card. I'm about $6,000 in debt with the credit card and this trailer, right? So I want to pay that down as fast as I can. So if I make him wait a month, you know, I don't want him waiting 2 months. But, like, he understands that, like, you know, like, I am broke. you know what I mean? Like, I've got enough money. I don't quite even have enough money to pay my rent yet. You know what I mean? Just because of all the expenses that hit me, you know, the end of last month and the very beginning of this month. The insurance for this, 400 and something. The renewal of my license wasn't too bad. It was only $27 instead of 200 or something. Because the little reprieve from inflation that the government's giving, I'm sure we're paying it back somewhere else. There was something else. Like I spent like the beginning of the month, all the money I had saved up, money for this, money for that. The oil change, there was $120 there. Big bottle. It was just all kinds of stuff like that. So I spent probably about $1,300 or something at the beginning of the month, wiping me out of any sort of savings I have. You know what I mean? Oh, and the credit card payment, you know, like, so it all added up all in one shot, hitting me. Like, things do that to you sometimes, where it's just like everything's due all at once, right? And I'm one of those guys, I pay the whole bill at once. I don't do the, you know, pay it and I'll take the hit. I'll suffer for a month or so, but then, you know, then I'm, you know, once I've suffered through that, then I could start getting ahead, because I'm not always doing like a little payment here, a little payment there. Try to avoid that as much as possible, right? Although it's a little harder at first to do it the way I do it, it does kind of set you up long term to not be constantly out of cash, right? So, oh yeah, the EGR valve, you know, that's still sitting in the box. Yeah. Yeah, so there's always something, right? And then, you know, then there's just the black swan, you know, your truck breaks down, this happens, that happens. That's a bad, this guy should be wearing bright colors in the morning. Look at all the little rabbits on the road. There's 2 little bunny rabbits and the cyclist on the road. Look, the bunny rabbits know to move to the side. See the bunny rabbit? Look at the bunny rabbits. There he goes, bunny rabbit. Blind corner, so I'm not going to pass him on the blind corner. But you could move off to the side, sir. You could. Cyclists. Like, even I would have moved off to the side. Like, it's dangerous for both of us going this slow. So, this hour in the morning, a lot of people going to work and stuff. So, race them. There we go. Like, this whole mentality that I belong on the road too. Okay, fine, yeah, but courtesy, my friend, courtesy. You know, yeah. But anyway, yeah. So I know it's not the most interesting of videos, but it is something that if you are running your own business, right, you have to mark down everybody that owes you, for sure. Like, people forget, sometimes willingly, sometimes not. Don't work for people that are broke if you can help it. Sometimes people have, you know, like, you know, a ton of expenses hit them at once. Get, you know, like, learn your clients, you know. Like some of my clients, it's not that they can't pay on a weekly basis, just it's more convenient for them to give me one lump sum of cash at the end of the month. Trust me, they're good for it. Trust me, they are good for it. They might be in debt up to the eyeballs, but trust me, I have an idea of their financial situation. Trust me, they're good for it. I could trust them. But it's a long way to get that pay, right? And this is like, June is kind of like the first month where the season for me is like, okay, now you get everything in order, you know, like the April was pretty much shot. Is that metal there? Oh, I should stop and see about that. That far in, you got to go knock on doors, say, hey, do you want me to take that away for you? But the point I'm making is that, like, you have to, you know, really manage your finances when you're on a tight budget, when you're in a position like a guy like me, where you have potential to make money, but, you know, like, you're not above living expenses. You're not above that yet. That's why that's one of your main goals, is to get ahead. What kills me is not, you know, like, not enough work in the winter and it wipes out all my savings. If I had just even you know, maybe a quarter of the work I make during the summer, I would have money by spring, right? But what got me last year was buying the truck in the fall, right? Which wiped out pretty much all my savings. And then I had just enough to get through the winter. And then, of course, I ran out money on the credit card and stuff like that, you know.